Good day, Mason here. Today we're going to be making something mysterious and intriguing. It is known as the monkey bread. Many recipes use pre-made biscuits to make this, but I'm going to be making it from scratch. Our ingredients to make the monkey bread consist of the following: 1½ teaspoons of salt, 1½ tablespoons of baking powder, 1/3 cup of honey, 1/2 cup of melted butter, 1 cup of milk, and 3 cups of flour. Okay, time to get started with the monkey bread. So we got our mixing bowl, sifter on top. We're going to sift about half our flour, and then we can dump in our baking powder as well as our salt. We'll just toss that in the bowl directly. And then we'll just finish sifting all of this. And look at all the chunks that were left on this batch. Ugly. Good thing they're not in our bread, because that would be awful. A little bit of a quick stir. Now we're going to start adding our liquids. We'll start with our milk, and then we're going to move on to adding our honey. Now the honey can take a little bit of time getting in the bowl, but with use of a spoon and patience, more patience than spoon, but they kind of come together. It all goes in nice and gently. That's just what we want. All of our honey in there. And then we can finish up our ingredients with our butter, which of course is being stubborn, so wooden spoon, used to get it out. And then we can start the mixing process. So doing the circular motion and the fist grip on the wooden spoon, I'm able to get everything to start to combine. If you don't want to do this by hand, of course, electric mixer, stand mixer, or get somebody else to do it. I mean, there's many ways to accomplish things. Either way, once it starts to kind of smooth down and you start to have something resembling a nice batter, mix it a little bit more, and then you're good to go. That's the rule for painting too. When you're mixing paint, mix it till you think it's mixed, and then when you think it's done, mix it some more, and it'll always be done. Monkey bread is made up of dough that consists of many balls that are coated in a sugar cinnamon mix, and that's what we're preparing here. So we got 3 teaspoons of cinnamon and 3/4 cups of sugar. My cinnamon that I'm using is Sargon, something like that. It's got a lot of bite, it's the good stuff, and just mixing that up. So now we get our stuff together. We get our bundt pan, which we're going to coat in butter, we get our batter, and we get our sugar cinnamon mix, and we'll get those all lined up perfect, just like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to hand make dough balls, and then we're going to coat them in our sugar cinnamon mix, and we're just going to toss them in our bundt pan. And we're going to do that quite a few times. Now, something about when you're making your monkey bread is that you can do different size balls, and I don't know if you're supposed to or not press down at the end to kind of compress them together, but if you do, it's more likely to hold together, and if you don't, you get your syrup that we're going to make after this. We're going to make a nice hearty sugary syrup that we're going to pour over the whole cake before we're done, and it's just amazing. But if you press down, then the syrup won't be able to flow, so you kind of got that catch-22 that if you don't have it holding together too well, then it just kind of falls apart a little bit, which is a little bit unfortunate. But if you push it all together, then you can't get the syrup in. So I don't know if there's really a way to win when making this stuff, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Either way, don't push them all together. Maybe just a little bit to kind of flatten it out, but don't squish them. Just kind of gently put them in there and just take your time with it and organize it so that they're kind of distributed so it's somewhat flat on the top. That way we'll sit flat when you toss it on a pan once it's done. Okay, we got butter and we got brown sugar, 2/3 cups of each. So now we're going to go over to our stove top. We're going to get a nice saucepan on the stove. We're going to crank the heat up nice and high, and then we're going to dump in our sugar and our butter. Perfect, just like that. And then we're just going to gently mix it until it's all nice and combined and syrupy. We don't have to cook this down to caramel or anything. We just need to get it on for a few minutes to kind of soften up the butter and creamify the brown sugar to make our nice lovely syrup. So now we're going to go over with our syrup to our pan, and we're just going to pour it all on top, just kind of working our way around, making sure everything's nice and covered. and it will all seep down in between the cracks of the monkey bread. Of course, if you pack it down, then it won't, and I guess that is what it is. And then into the oven we go, 375 degrees, cook for approximately half an hour. Once it's done, pull it out of the oven, check with a toothpick. If it's not done, put her back in. Either way, mine's been sitting out for 15 minutes now, so now I'm going to attempt to get it out. Plate on top, flip it upside down, gentle shake. Don't be as aggressive as I was, because I kind of broke it apart there when I kind of slammed it a little bit too hard, and one of the corners didn't come out as perfect as I hoped. But either way, the thing was mighty delicious, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Anyway, that's the end of this one. So comments below what you thought of this monstrosity, and please like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. And until next time, stay awesome.